The big dog has arrived. Live and direct. Vasos, who am I talking about?
Our next guest is an actor, comedian, presenter, writer, comic relief colossus, and checks into hotels under the name National Treasure.
Yeah, baby!
He now stars in the new drama Halfway, available on Audible. And on this show, we're always in for a penny, in for a Sir Lenny Henry.
Good morning, Sir Leonard.
I was expecting more puns, but I think you did very well, considering.
Can I just say, you're rocking more great specs.
Oh, I like
Stop
these
it.
specs. These are the gold ones, but they've got egg on them. My missus says, "Yeah,
How'd you
those
get
to
egg
me."
there?
I don't know.
On the bridge?
I don't know, but it was very tasty this morning.
Was it an exploding egg? Because they do that sometimes, don't they?
It was delicious, and yeah. So these are gold ones, and they're my favourites at the moment. So I'm wearing them all the time. I might not have to wear them anymore because I made a film and I did the self-tape for the film where you do an audition on tape.
Yes.
And the director really liked these specs because that's what I had on.
Right.
And I'm wearing them in film.
Ooh.
But I might not be able to wear them after that.
Why?
Because everybody go, that's Lenny Henry from that film.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's in
I
the
see.
gold glasses.
No, because the last time you came in, you were rocking some great specs, and they're even better than the last ones.
Thanks.
So-
Spec game recognises spec game.
I thought they were a 10, but then I've got to downgrade them. So here we go. So this is Halfway. It's an audio drama. We have listened to it. We're going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. You happy with a 9?
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm only just beginning to remember because we did it quite a while ago. So I'm kind of thinking, this was the thing about the AI and uploading your soul into AI.
Yeah.
And the ramifications of that and whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm guessing if you're in a dystopian sci-fi drama, it's probably not a good thing.
I like dystopian.
And I'm the architect of it all. My character's called Cole and he's a scientist. And he's invested a lot of his time and money into this experiment. And I'm not giving anything away if I say that there's some dodgy stuff going on. It was very enjoyable to do.
Florence is consumed by grief following the death of her brother Mark a year after being declared as missing. Mark, I know.
Carry on.
Mark is uploaded to Halfway, a service that uses AI to recreate the personalities of deceased loved ones. However, Florence believes his disappearance is connected to the service and uses the synthetic version of her brother to help discover what actually happened to him.
You can find out what happens next in Halfway on Audible.
Well, it's fascinating anyway, and then it begins to twist in on itself, which I suppose is the clever
It's
thing.
incredibly twisty turning. And can I give a shout out to the writers, Imelda Iloni and Michael Honor, who this is their first thing, and Idris Elba's production company have given them this extraordinary leeway with Audible to create a dystopian sci-fi drama that they would not probably have been able to do if it had been a television show, if it had been a streamer show. So I think it's a fantastically credible launch pad for them, and they did a really good job. And also Holly Redaway directed it. Very young, all very young people. And I found this
Well done, the young people.
well done, well done to all the young people involved. You did a very, very good job.
We have young people here too.
They're marvellous.
Purely for context.
I've had a cup of tea, and it was marvellous. And the man said, "Is this too dark?" I said, "Never for me, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Never for me.
All right.
Put a splash more milk in it, damn it. What's the matter with you?"
So as the boss of Halfway, so scientist and entrepreneur, bit of everything.
Cole is a bit of everything. He's a wheeler dealer and he's hustled. And I'm not sure if it hasn't driven him a bit mad. But I love the aspect of acting on the because it's basically a radio play to all intents and purposes. And I've done radio plays before. And the thing that I remember when we did Othello on the radio was that it was brilliant because we knew our lines, and so you didn't have this every 5 minutes. But this was a bit of that. But the technology has changed. We had iPads, so we could just swish our lines onto the next page, and it was beautiful to do. Got to work with some amazing people, Arinzi Kane and George Mackay and people like that, and it was a joy.
So who gets you invited to the party? Does Idris phone you up?
Idris, listen, Idris doesn't call you. Idris has people who do that stuff for him. No, Idris is great. I've got one of his coats. Do you want a coat, Lynn? Yeah, all right, I'll have a coat. A coat shows up the next day in a box with Idris. I've got an Idris Elba coat, man.
Does he make them?
I don't know if it makes him or not. No, I think he's got some people who do that for him, some Disney birds who fashion things for him. Idris is in everything. His people rang me and said, do you want to be in this thing? And I thought Idris might be around. I'd get to chat with him because we did the Luther thing where we met all his family on Sport Relief and I played his bruv. All right, bruv. But I've not seen him since then, really. But I was really surprised that he rang me and suddenly that his people rang. And suddenly I was in this play for Idris. I'm literally working for Idris Elba. Yeah. And it was great. Had a limo to work every day, got to wear my coat. It was dope.
This sounds like something that could happen, though, doesn't it? Because if you think about a photograph, obviously photographs, video, and now digital, and then phone to phone, etc., etc.
Well, they already do living wills, don't they? They already do that. You know that thing when you go to a graveyard and then suddenly his face comes up and goes, hello?
Yeah.
Grandchildren, come and touch the gravestone. It's your granddad.
Otherwise, you're not getting a penny.
Well, the thing is that's happening already. We're already thinking of ways to live on after we pass away, right?
Yes.
And it's messing with something. I said to my mum, what do you want? Mum, when you go, yes, what you talking about me dying for? If you ever want to get in touch, just come to me in a dream or something.
Right.
And talk to me in a dream. And she hasn't done that yet. And so I think it's probably messing with something to upload yourself to AI and hope that it's going to work.
But it is and it isn't. Because it's technology,
you do it?
It's advancement. Maybe.
There was that whole thing.
I'm not against it.
Was it Walt Disney freezing his head? How freaky would that be?
Yeah, but people have done that, haven't they? Cryogenics and
Cryogenic,
things?
yeah. They've frozen their head in the hope that in the future, medicine will be able to bring you back to life. But I don't know. It's messing with something. And as always, with these things that science claims they can do, there's always something that goes a bit twisty in the end.
Yeah,
and this is one of those cautionary Twilight Zone type tales.
Every action is an op and equal reaction, and that's the way it is. It's,
I believe the children are future. Yeah,
it's the yin and the yang, isn't it?
It is the yin and the yang, and that's what they're missing for. So, really good writing, brilliant sound design, fantastic direction from Holly Redaway, and you can listen to it in your car, on your run.
It's gripping, mate.
I think so.
No, we all think it's gripping. We agree it's gripping. Astonishing cliffhanger. Episode 1. Anybody past episode 1? Tilly, no, but we can't wait. Literally can't wait. Brilliant.
Well, I hope you all enjoy it. I really enjoyed making it, and I got to do swearing on the radio, which is hilarious. Which they always tell you not to swear on the radio, and then we're making this thing, and there's swear words written in the script. And am I going to say this?
Drama.
Yeah, Len, bruv, you can say it. Len, bruv, you can say that.
Aussie Jane sweating
it's
at the moment?
audible.
Aussie Jane sweating at the moment?
No, it's not. It's an audible thing, man. It's a play. You can do that. It's a play. It's drama. Can't do it in comedy, but you can do it in drama. You
mentioned Comic Relief there.
Yeah.
Congratulations on... I'm going to say reign, you won't say reign, on your reign as one of the king of Comic Relief. Let's just say that. The king of Comic Relief. How was it bowing out? Was it emotional? Congratulations on the I'm Just Len. It was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Tell us more, Lenny.
It was very moving and sad, actually, because it's been half my life. So Richard Curtis and I sort of said we'd bow out on the same day, but I would just do mine on the telly. And Richard did it behind the scenes. That was very moving too. And it was to have raised over 1.6 billion with the British public is a pretty fantastic thing. So we were all a team. It's a massive team effort. You were involved. Everybody's been involved in it. So it's very nice that you say, "Oh, King of," but it's not. It's all of us.
I know. But you
it's all of us.
We can say that about you.
I was in the pointy end, but Richard is such a wonderful, generous, passionate man about these things, and he took me along on the journey and sort of pushed me because I was sort of floating about a bit, I think, back in the day. I was doing lots of different types. I was children in need and I was talking about diversity and all that kind of stuff. And then we just went on this massive adventure. It's been a huge adventure. And I'm a life president of Comic Relief, so we'll remain involved, doing stuff behind the scenes. But the important thing is that the new generation of comics and actors and presenters who want to be philanthropic and do something to help out, because it's quite good to give back. Because if they send a limo for you, you got to give something back. So I feel like the young ones are going to have to think about whether they want to give back or not.
Yeah.
And what's great is they do stand up to cancer, children in need, Comic Relief. Everybody keeps thinking this is something that needs to continue. Yeah. So I say to all of them, keep going, keep continuing. We're going to ring you. We're going to say there's more stuff to do. Are you in? And if you're in, we're in with you, and that's cool.
Yeah. And what did you do afterwards? Did you go out? Or did
There was a do afterwards for all of us, and we made a speech, and gifts were exchanged, and Richard said very rude things about everybody, and I got up and I sort of did crying and gave Richard a gift.
Did you do crying?
I did crying.
He did crying. Control round of applause for Sir Lenny doing crying after his last comic relief. Crying.
It was really sad. Thank you. I did a bit of crying. It wasn't that.
It was only a bit of crying. Take it back.
No. It was very. It was.
We take it back.
It was very moving. But I loved it, and we loved all the things we had to do. And they gave me extra stuff to do. They gave me I'm Just Len, the song from Barbie, and they gave me we did a W1A sketch with Monica Dolan and Jessica, and it's great.
So Richard's speech, presumably it was killer because he wrote it and he's Richard Curtis.
Well, Richard just talks and it's funny. So, but it also very moving. It's always incredibly thankful, and it shows a lot of gratitude for all the work that's been done, and it just kills you when he talks. It's just like, you're just like,
I know,
Richard. But it was a really good night. It was a very good night.
You are looking better and better every time you
say
come
this
in.
every time.
I
What's the
know, but
matter
you
with
never
you?
share with us rituals and things. Come on, give us some hacks.
Yoga.
You look great, man.
I told you this before. I do yoga.
Yeah,
I try and watch what I don't eat. I don't eat what I used to eat.
Right.
I used to. My family was if you leave anything, you're sleeping outside. So we used to kind of have to eat everything Mum put on the plate,
and
everything she served was bigger than your head. You're not supposed to eat anything that's bigger than your head. And every meal, the meal was bigger than my head. So my mum made us finish everything.
And you took that with you. That's appetite.
Every meal was just huge, and I love to eat. Right. Always over order the curry on a Friday night.
Yeah, me too.
Always.
Still.
And so I ate everything, but I had to, because I'm diabetic, so I had to kind of figure out
what was the
to do.
tipping point, and how did you do it? For people listening, how did you control your appetite?
I can't really reveal my sources. When I was doing Comedy of Errors, I was really big.
Right.
And I worked with a woman called Anne Yee, and we had to do... me and Lucy Massamati and Dan did training in the gym in the morning, and then we went in and did more training with Anne, and she was hardcore. We had 6 weeks of rehearsal, and by the end of that 6 weeks, I'd lost a stone. And I thought, well, I might as well just carry on doing this. Right. And so I carried on with that, and I was also doing weird Tupperware eating. So I was preparing all my meals. Really important. Sometimes when you're in our business, you just eat on the way, and you just eat anything because that's what you're given.
Yeah.
And I stopped doing that. I started doing all my own food in a Tupperware thing, and then it was like that.
Right. So you help you feature yourself out by prepping.
Well, my doctor said you've got to start watching what you eat now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because the exercising is one thing, but they say you can't out-train a bad diet. And I can't kick the sugar. I've kicked the booze.
You look good though.
Yeah, I feel great, man.
Do you run? Are you a runner?
Run all the time, yeah.
But I found that I was going to the gym 3-4 times a week, and it wasn't coming off. So it was to do with what goes in your gob.
So how did you stop that?
I had to have willpower. I had to be.
But willpower is great when it's around, but it runs out really quickly.
Willpower. I overeat though sometimes.
Right.
And I get a craving for sweet things, so that's what I have to watch.
What do you do then?
Eat.
You do, because they say if
and then really regret it the next day.
They say if you sit with your craving, it will pass.
No. I regret it almost immediately.
Right.
But Richard Curtis and Emma Freud used to send you Christmas presents, and it was always the really big dairy milk chocolate thing.
I know.
There are other chocolates available, listeners.
Yeah.
It's that kind of 3 foot long.
Amazing.
And it was gone by within an hour. It would just
I like
be
the
gone.
giant Toblerones.
I would just. You can't eat those. Paddy McGuinness had a thing on his phone where you scanned all the food, right?
Yeah.
And it tells you how good or bad the food is for you. And we were scanning all these foods. Hi, Toblerone, this is not good for you. And we were scanning all these things. And he scanned the Toblerone, which is one of my favourite things. And it just went, walk away.
I know.
And that was it.
That's why it's so nice.
I know. Listen, Toblerone, it was a good thing, I know I tell the Paddy story, but it was a nice thing to eat with a little bit of toffee inside and everything. So, back to halfway, away from my eating. A very enjoyable experience, and we all got to do proper acting. It was like we were doing a theatre play, and we were pushed to do our very, very best, and secretly we all wanted to please Idris in case he was listening somewhere.
Or there's going to be a movie or whatever.
I thought he was in one of those silver Airstream things with earphones on, listening to us in secret.
Well, he's got one in his garden. Do you know about this?
No.
He's got one in his garden because he He had the rented one. I think he rented one, then he bought one because he's Idris Elba. That's what you do. Whilst his house was being finished, so he lived in a caravan. I think it was an Airstream, and then he turned it into his DJ booth because he likes to DJ. He's made albums and things. Hasn't he?
I hope that's what he's doing in there.
I think he talks.
Idris is like, listen, Idris is like one of the biggest stars in the world, and sometimes you can find him DJing in Kilburn on a Friday night.
It's crazy, man.
He needs to figure out his priorities. That's
crazy.
what I say.
It's crazy.
Idris, I love you. I respect you. Let's do this more.
And that voice, silky as you like.
Yeah, Knuckles
can
the
you do an
Hedgehog.
Idris? Can you do it?
No, I can't do Idris. There's only one Idris. It's Idris's world, and we all live in it.
Wow.
Gotta love him.
Gotta love him.
I've got his coat.
You got a coat of his. So this was 6 months ago, 12 months ago.
It feels like longer, but it was a few months ago, and we did it all in sections, and you were only given your section of the script. They do that now. They get you to agree to the overall thing, and then you get sent sections of the script, and you go in and do them as and when. It was interesting, and what's amazing is all of these things coming back. I walked into the canteen at Audible, and the entire cast of Green Wing, do you remember Green Wing?
Yeah.
Were there, and they were recording 6 new episodes for Audible.
Why not?
So I think it's going to be a thing.
Bring it on. All right, audio drama halfway. We don't know how it ends.
Are you listening?
We don't know how it ends.
We don't know how it ends.
So we don't know if there's going to be another.
Ends.
Well, you would. I suppose you would.
No.
Because you said it was being sort of constructed. You went and did your bit and other
like
things
Lego.
happen.
But I'm going to be listening to it from today onwards because I can't wait to know what happens.
Good for you.
It was cool.
Right, it's an audio drama. It's out now on Audible. It's a big thing. It's cool. It's super cool. It's really compelling. It's called Halfway, and it stars Sir Lenny and some of his pals. Alongside Lenny, you have Patricia Allison as Florence, and Arinze Kene as Mark, and George McKay as Oliver. Full cast overleaf. Too many to mention, but all great at what they do.
Really good people. It was enjoyable to do, and we got pushed, and so there's some drama and some sparks happening. So check it out.
Lenny, thank you.
Thank you.
Always joy to see you, and whatever pair of specs you're rocking, my friend.
It's not about the specs, it's about the guy beneath, as you know.
Specs appeal. Okay.
Right on. Right on with the right on.
Virgin Radio.